So if you're looking for an exchange, if you're trying to choose where you're going to buy and sell crypto, what kinds of questions should you ask? And how do you differentiate between the different types of exchanges, the different places, theoretically worldwide, right? That you could use.
Yeah, so there's centralized exchanges and decentralized exchanges. There's some hybrids as well. The centralized exchanges, the issue there is that they hold the keys and the money, right? Can you imagine in the physical world putting your money in your safety deposit box at a bank and taking the key and leaving it with the teller at the window on the way out the door? No one would do that.
So you're against that. That's a bad thing.
Aren't you?
I suppose so, yeah. But you hear, on the other hand, you hear horror stories of people losing their own keys. They write it on a piece of paper and put it in a box and bury it in the backyard and that kind of thing. I mean, is there a more consumer-friendly answer out there? And is any particular exchange or any group of exchanges providing it?
Certainly, and so no one is actually providing that right now. It is based on putting that in your safety deposit box or your safe at home and writing it down. But again, that's not protecting the actual coins. That's just your wallet signatures for digital signatures and non-repudiation hashes, things like that.
So when you go to an exchange, say you want to open an account, what kinds of questions should you ask them, or should you seek out in their FAQ or whatever?
I think I would look at authentication procedures, things you can set up. I have my public wallet key and my private key, but does it also require a PIN? Can I have a wallet connected to the exchange as the so-called hot wallet, and can I take it off and have it be cold where it's not accessible at the time until I'm ready for it to be? Certain things like that, and does it educate people on different trends that they're seeing? Hey, a couple people have reported all of my Bitcoins are gone, all of my coins are gone, whatever. Let your user population know, hey, there's something potentially going on. Some people may have been phished, et cetera. Maybe they, who knows what's going on, but education and awareness, maybe that exchange could be more helpful. I don't know of any that do that, but that would be a good idea. But asking questions like, how can I be aware if everybody, Kara and Yo, have lost all of their coins. I don't want to either. How do I become aware of this? Things like that, I think would be helpful.
Yo, you were talking about the Korean instance of the hackers simply moving the money to another exchange. What kinds of things are happening, and what kinds of things need to happen on an international level between regulators, between exchanges?
So I think that there needs to just be standards that exchanges follow, because you asked what kind of questions should you ask, and I think as a cybersecurity person, there's a lot of questions I'll ask an exchange, but I don't think it's reasonable for one of the regular consumers to have to know enough to be able to ask those questions, let alone understand the answers. And I think there's a minimum level of security that exchanges should be subject to, and it's kind of up to regulators to enforce that. Even auditable records that they have control of the finances still. There's been so many times where exchanges have been hacked, they haven't told their users, and they did not have control of the funds. And at that point, they were essentially illiquid.
Well, what kind of disclosures are exchanges, the big exchanges, providing? And is that adequate? Are regulators requiring them to provide everything that you need to have?
Right now, I think, at least in the U.S., they're still trying to grasp their kind of figure it out. I know that there's a lot of smaller governments like Malta and Gibraltar and Caymans and stuff that are actively putting in place right now standards that blockchain companies and also cryptocurrency exchanges have to enforce at a minimum level, and third-party outside audits. I'm
sorry, you're saying that you're better protected in the Caymans or Malta than you are in the United States?
Well, they just move a little bit faster as far as enforcing all those things.
That's interesting.